What's up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. She is the UFC's number 6th ranked women's strawweight contender, fighting Amanda Ribas in the main event of UFC Fight Night on Saturday. A very happy new year to Mackenzie Dern. How's it going?
Hey, thanks for having me. Always good talking to you. And yeah, I'm excited. January 11th. It was supposed to be December 14th,
hmm
so we got through the holidays, focus on the camp. But yeah, now we got a mini event, so that's for an athlete in our career, that's always best exposure.
I was gonna say, is it a little disappointing when you're thinking about how much you can indulge and enjoy yourself on the holidays, and then your fight gets moved from right before when everything kicks off to now you gotta cut weight, you gotta be with the family, you gotta mind yourself, you gotta train. What were the holidays like for you this year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was like good because it was like kind of quiet, relaxing.
Mm.
But yeah, definitely that's like I think the end of the year is like what I'm most excited about during the whole year. We work, work, work hard and focus and train. And then Christmas with the family, like, going to Brazil and visiting family and the food, all the food you get to eat and just kind of having that relaxed time. I was like, oh, a couple more weeks, couple more weeks. But yeah, it's worth it for sure.
Well, I know Amanda has already prepared like a belated holiday dinner, and she's already told everyone what they need to bring so she can satisfy all her cravings after the fact. Do you have any like delayed holiday plans you hope to get together?
We'll just be going to Brazil and taking some time off in Brazil. Actually, we just bought a horse, so we're excited. We'll
Ooh.
be having some fun with him and just enjoying that Christmas present, I guess.
Ooh, man, what a Christmas present. You and Charles Oliveira are gonna have to have a race one of these days.
Yeah, 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 totally.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the fight. First and foremost, obviously the two of you fought 5 years ago. Amanda gave you the first loss of your MMA career, of your UFC run. Are you a person that's motivated by vengeance? Does that do anything for you, or are you the type of person who's like out of sight, out of mind, next mission ahead?
Yeah, for sure. Like out of sight, out of mind. Like it doesn't, especially I think in Jiu Jitsu, we fight the same
Mm,
people tons of times. One time we win, one time we lose, and then maybe we win, 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 and then lose. You know what I mean? So for us, it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know, just kind of in now in the MMA world in my career and like how the fans and just like the record really makes a big difference.
mm,
It's definitely like one, and I think because it was my first loss, and it was be kind of like it was the one after my daughter was born. Not that that was like why I lost or anything like that, but I just feel like I've evolved so much. So I think just as a fighter and being like you wanting to have good fights and wanting to experience that was a big like excitement for me to be able to fight Amanda again.
mhm.
Not that I think like, oh, it's gonna get me any closer to the belt, or anything like that. I kind of think she's up and down in divisions. She's kind of doing her own thing. I don't think it's like necessarily a fight that's gonna push me closer to my main goal of being a champion. I think of course getting wins no matter who it's against, if you
Mhm.
have like wins in a row, that's always good for your idea to get to the belt. But just to kind of feel how much I've developed on a personal level
Mhm.
5 years ago and I think for the fans too, I think we both have developed a lot, and I think it's fun to put on a show. I think we have everything that we can get, like maybe fight of the night and get some extra money, and I think that's what's fun.
You mentioned the personal developments, and of course, I think anytime, particularly when someone from a very strong, specific martial arts background like you with jujitsu comes in, it's very easy to spot the evolution in your striking, the evolution in your wrestling. What's one area, either skills or mindset, what's one area where you think you've really grown the most in the last 5 years that maybe isn't as obvious to the viewer?
Um, I think just being like composed,
Mm,
and still, I mean, I think when I get to the belt and I win the championship, then that's when I'll be like, I'll have my composure and just like my calmness, I guess you can say, under control, like 100% of the time. So it's still kind of in spots, I'm able to get it. I start getting into it during the fight, it's not like from the beginning to the end. But I
mhm,
think that just the composure since like my first fight that I was just kind of like you see red, and like as soon as you get one punch, you're
Mhm.
like, ah, go and kill, and it's like go mode, and you don't understand, and I think that's something that strikers have a lot really good composure, fighting
Mhm.
their distance and the timing, and kind of seeing what the other person's offering and seeing their reactions, and then they start really setting stuff up. So I think just and me when I'm just trying to get to the ground and not get punched as much and try and punch. I was like going past that. So I was trying to get my striking better, but it was still like just go, go, go and getting my wrestling better, but still just trying to go for the takedowns, not really setting stuff up. And I think just through the last 5 years, that's something that maybe people haven't really noticed. But me and my coaches, we worked so much. And I think with my last fight with Lupita, I started to, I looked more composed and I felt more composed. And you just start kind of getting in a rhythm and able to kind of win in all areas, like striking, takedowns, and the ground.
It's interesting you say that because one of my colleagues at CBS had sort of made this sort of an assessment of you that was both complimentary in one aspect and I guess critical in the other, which is your striking offense. His words, not mine, but I'll try and sort of. I'd love to see where you stand on it. That your striking offense has evolved so well, and you look like a really sharp boxer. But that sometimes when the intensity gets turned up and you start getting hit, that's where the composure kind of falls apart a bit. Do you share that assessment in the past? And how do you go about getting comfortable with that? Because, like you said, when you've been striking your whole life, I guess there's a sort of innate comfort that comes with being hit, but that's a really hard thing to just learn, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. That I mean, and the composure when we've been working on that, it's been like on both offensively and
Mm,
defensively. So definitely, I feel that, I feel like that's something that we're trying like I'm before I would just kind of come straight back. I would turn my back sometimes.
mhm,
So I've been working so much like not turning my back, kind of circling out, keeping my not lifting up. Sometimes I kind of lift up my like put my hand out and I lift my chin up. So kind of defending myself while I'm backing out and circling and you know what I mean. So all that. But when you get like, you know what I mean, that's the thing. It's like when I get composed like that, I'm trying to work that composure, and I think I'm getting better. I really think it's gonna come out in this fight
totally.
against Amanda. I don't see her hitting hard like Jessica or hitting hard like Amanda Lemos, or hitting hard like Young Xiaonan. She's fast, and she has um, good setups on stuff like that, a lot of movement. But I think I've been through a lot of hard hitters that it's not going to be anything that I won't, it'll knock my composure and I'll go back to like bad habits. So I really think that's like one of my last things that I'm trying to work on is just like getting my composure under like defensively too, and not just like turn my back and hopefully swing a a back fist or something, hope it lands.
Well, this is why I like talking to you because, like, I totally sympathize. It can be really hard being in the public eye and receiving feedback, but like, I feel like you have a very good ability to filter, like, this is reasonable criticism, this is unreasonable criticism. You don't take it personally, you work on it. I feel like that's probably one of the best foundation. MMA fighters can be a sensitive bunch. I understand. I'm a sensitive person too, but I think that's a winning mentality. So kudos to you for being able to field that and make sense of it and work on it. I'm very excited to
Oh,
see how this fight plays out.
thank you.
That's enough of me pandering though. Where do we get here? Oh yeah, actually. So I always put out a fan Q&A. And one question came up that kind of piqued my interest. Obviously, Jiu Jitsu, MMA, very different games. I am curious, what's one component or aspect of jujitsu that you found yourself very successful in that doesn't actually translate well? Like, what's one key part of your jujitsu game that you've almost had to abandon because it doesn't work in the confines of MMA so well?
That was a good one. I think let me see. I mean, I think just probably being on the ground, like being with my back on the ground. It's
Mm,
like now in the beginning of my fights, I would kind of stay on the ground and kind of trust like, okay, yeah, I mean, even if I do pull guard or something like that, it's just like I'm constantly trying to like get to omoplata or something where I can land on top now. And before I'd kind of like, okay, stay there and see, maybe I'll do like whatever. I'll try to attack an armbar or maybe a foot lock, but I'll kind of stay on the bottom. And for us in jiu-jitsu, that's totally like you can win the fight being on bottom the whole entire fight. And I think that's something that I've just been like constantly in my mind, like the judge, just because I like now I've had more fights and more experience
Hmm.
and I've lost fights, even me being on top and like being in control, but maybe I didn't do enough ground and pound and like look
Hmm.
as busy, like control compared to damage and things like that. So
Totally.
just trying to understand the judges now, in MMA and just understanding like and it's tiring for the person to be on the bottom, I think, for strikers and stuff like that, than for them to. I think they probably work more on being on like on top and holding on and waiting for the fight to get over, like not the fight, the round.
Hmm.
So I think just kind of taking that mindset out, like, okay, my back's on the floor, or you're attacking to submit, to get to the back, to sweep, to land, to be on top. Just don't accept being on the bottom. Obviously, I want to be on top, but like kind of grappling.
As we begin to hit the tail end here, I don't know how big you are into New Year's resolutions, but I am curious. What's one New Year's resolution Mackenzie Dern, the UFC fighter, has in 2025?
I mean, one of my biggest resolutions just kind of expanding my, I don't know, my brand, I guess, Mackenzie
Mm.
brand, and just, going into different areas, not just, I guess just not making money just off of fighting, and just kind of, I don't know, videos or teaching too in seminars and I don't know, like clothing and just kind of working my brand to reach, you know, bigger all over the world and in different forms.
I like it. I think I feel like I can't count on more than like one, two hands how many fighters are as well positioned for something like that as you are. So I look forward to seeing how that works out for you in
Sweet.
2025. I always like to end with a bit of a rapid fire. And so with January here, and we got the whole year to look forward to, I have four MMA scenarios predictions. I just want to get your take if you think they'll happen or not, okay?
Okay.
All right. First, Tatiana Suarez will be the UFC Women's Strawweight Champion at the end of the year. So she could lose to Zhang Weili. She could win and then lose a title defense. But do you think she leaves 2025 with the belt?
Leaves 2025 with the belt? I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Would UFC be more likely to reintroduce the women's featherweight division or add an antimweight division in 2025?
At a atomweight division.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, I haven't said that word right once today because I asked Amanda the same thing. Atom Wade. I don't know why I keep adding ends that aren't
It's
there.
like two, yeah, it's like two together.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We spoke about Du Bronx and his love of horses. Will Charles Oliveira fight for the UFC lightweight title in 2025?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I agree.
believe, I think so, yeah.
Does Mackenzie Dern end 2025 with the first KO on her professional resume?
Um, I think so, yes.
Well, for all we know, it might happen in a few days. Mackenzie,
Yeah, who
uh,
knows?
I want to let you have the last word. So, very quickly for me, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Subscribe, tap the bell, thumbs up. Give us your official prediction. Mackenzie Dern, Amanda Ribas to the main event of UFC Fight Night on Saturday. Also, what's one MMA related New Year's resolution you have? Whether that's a fight you want to see or some training you want to do, love to hear from you guys. Mackenzie, if there's anything you want to tell the people, I'll let you have the last word here.
No, just thank you everyone for all the support. Don't miss the fight, January 11th. It'll be a great show for everyone, and hope everyone had a great New Year's. Thank you.